No. The answer is no. The princesses are not useless. Hello everyone, my name's Aloubell, and let me tell you what the problem is. Based on some recent analyses I've been doing of MLP on my channel, I've realized that the show has a bit of a tell and show problem. What I mean by that is that the show tells us one thing, but shows us another. Sometimes. In the case of the princesses, we're told that they have stupid strong magic and are stronger than literally any other pony and most threats. If that's the case, then you'd assume that they'd always be super useful, and if not just straight up take out most threats, then at the very least put up a good fight against them. But before we see what actually ends up happening, special thanks to Paradise Smith, FV, and my other channel members, as well as Amy and Joy Newson, Jill A. Evers, and others who donated over on Ko-fi for supporting me and my channel. If you want to support me as well and help keep this channel alive, you too can become a channel member by clicking join, donate on Ko-fi, or commission me for a chibi on Artistry. Links down below. And I wrote and published a children's book called Clio's Colorful Quest. It came out a few years ago, but I'm bad at marketing and don't have the monetary means to do so, therefore no one knows about it. Links to that are also in the description. Now let's take a look at MLP's premiere. Celestia gets bested and kidnapped by Nightmare Moon and thus can't help the protagonist. Season 1 finale. It is implied that Celestia fixed the chaos that the main six brought to the gala. Season 2 premiere. Luna is nowhere to be found, but regardless, she and Celestia are no longer connected to the elements of harmony, and thus can't take out Discord like they could in the past. So they sit this one out. Season 2 finale. Celestia loses to Chrysalis due to Chrysalis absorbing so much love that she overpowers the princess. Luna was also either sleeping or busy. Cadance and Shining Armor save the day. Season 3 premiere. Celestia and Luna were shown to have taken out Sombra in the past, but because Twilight needs to prove herself worthy of her future role, they take a backseat and let her handle him. Yes, I know it is ultimately Spike and Cadance who end up, dealing the final blow, but it was still Twilight's test. Cadance was also using her powerful magic to keep the Crystal Empire protected. Season 3 finale. The cutie mark swapping was part of Twilight's test, so Celestia didn't interfere. Equestria Girls. I'm actually not quite sure why Celestia never went into the mirror to get Sunset in the past, nor why she isn't currently helping. I love you, Celestia. You're my favorite princess, but this perplexes me. I suppose you can make the argument that since she's the ruler of Equestria, she can't just travel off to worlds unknown without knowing what's on the other side and if or when she'll be able to get back. So, I guess that's why? Even then, I feel like something could have been done, but whatever. Season 4 premiere. Celestia and Luna get kidnapped. Cadance remains in the Crystal Empire. Presumably not even aware that things are going on. Season 4 finale. Celestia, Luna, and Cadance know they can't beat Tyrek individually, so they give all of their magic to Twilight while they get imprisoned. Season 5 premiere. Celestia, Luna, and Cadance aren't aware of the problem. Season 5 finale. Celestia, Luna, and Cadance aren't aware of the problem. Season 6 premiere. Celestia and Luna help keep the winter storm at bay, but don't have the power to fend it off entirely. Cadance helps Twilight do some research. Flurry Heart is born and she's a baby, so she can't contribute to big threats. However, we see here that like baby unicorns and Pegasi, her powers are temporarily boosted. Season 6 finale. Celestia, Luna, Cadance, and Flurry Heart get kidnapped off-screen. Season 7 premiere. Celestia gives Twilight some guidance. Season 7 finale. Celestia, Luna, and Cadance are unaware of the threat. Season 8 premiere. Celestia gives Twilight some guidance and support. Season 8 finale. Everyone loses their magic, so the princesses can't do much. Season 9 premiere. Celestia and Luna help keep the Everfree Forest at bay. Cadance couldn't fight back against Sombra. Season 9 finale. Celestia and Luna get their magic taken by Cozy Glow and thus can't help anymore. Cadance is in the Crystal Empire, bracing herself and protecting Flurry Heart. Luna, Celestia, and Discord turn the bad guys to stone at the very end. So, what did we learn here? Keep in mind that things do happen within the seasons themselves, but when people criticize the princesses, it's usually based off of the events of the finales and premieres, with a few exceptions. But in any case, we learned that there is evidence that suggests that the princesses are really powerful based off of the output of energy that Twilight gave off during her fight with Erik. However, the writers hold them back. And by that I mean, the plot requires the main characters to win, and in order to do that, the princesses have to either not be involved at all or severely nerfed. For the times when the princesses don't help only because they either don't know a conflict is happening or because they are testing the main characters, that's fine. That still gives off an air of control on their part. It still gives off the idea that if need be, they could swoop in and fix everything, similarly to how Celestia reversed Twilight's Want It Need It spell in Lesson 0. Of course, you can only operate under this system for so long before you start to lose any real stakes in the story. If the princesses are always in control, then what tension can there possibly be? The solution, then, would be to eventually introduce a foe that not even the princesses can handle. When this happens, they should at least be allowed to put up a good fight before losing. But in canon, during the times when they straight up lose, the loss is usually really quick and they barely get to put up a fight. The show also liked to take away the princesses and Discord's powers a few too many times that excuse just became lazy at some point just to get them out of the way. Now, we discussed the reason why this happened from a writing standpoint. Once again, we need our main characters to save the day and not the princesses. But let's try to come up with a fairly serviceable in-universe reason as to why they can't help as much during these conflicts. Theory number 1. The princesses' talents are not explicitly magic or combat-based compared to Twilight, Starlight, or Star Swirl. Yes, they are gifted in magic, but it isn't their talent. Celestia's talent is to raise the sun, Luna's the moon, and Cadence to spread love and something crystal heart, something crystal empire, something crystals. So their magic is really strong when it comes to those specific things, but perhaps not much else.
But Aloe, Celestia and Luna took out Sombra in the past, and they also took out Discord. Yes, I know that they needed the elements of harmony to take out Discord, but they didn't for Sombra, which means that they were warriors at some point.
You're right. So that kind of puts a damper on that theory. I still think there is merit to that theory, but it might not be the full story. Theory number 2. The princesses are simply all out of practice when it comes to using combative and defensive magic and maneuvers. We all know that alicorns are a combination of the 3 main pony races: Earth ponies, unicorns, and Pegasi. Because of their incredible magical potential, they should theoretically be the best in what each race excels at, i.e. agriculture and strength, magic, flight, and weather manipulation. I know technically the show never says this. It was really only established that alicorns are the best at magic from their horns compared to unicorns, but I think the implication spreads over to the other specialities as well. And so if you look at Cadence back during the Season 4 episode Three's a Crowd, she was having a difficult time flying. Her reasoning was because she didn't do it very often and she was out of practice. So even though she has the potential to be an excellent flyer, she doesn't do it enough. Likewise, Celestia and Luna haven't had to fight anyone or anything in over 1,000 years, so it makes sense that they're rusty. And Cadence presumably never really used her horn's magic for combative purposes at all. So there's a good chance that the older princesses just aren't good at fighting anymore, and the younger one was never great at it to begin with. None of them are warriors, so it makes sense why they wouldn't be on the front lines. Now, yes, this does imply that if the 3 of them simply trained, they would be quite formidable. But let's face it, Celestia and Luna are tired and ready to retire and just want to train up the next generation. Celestia can low-key see into the future, so I'm sure she always knew that Twilight and her friends could handle most situations, even if they had to struggle a little. And Cadence? You know what bugs me a tiny bit? How the show/writers eventually became super aware of how little the princesses did.
You're all acting so calm, but this is a big deal. What do we do if something big happens and the princesses aren't there to help?
If you think about it, they literally almost never help.
It's not so much the line that Rainbow says that bugs me, because the line itself and the follow-up reaction is actually humorous and not technically inaccurate. But it does disrespect the princesses a bit, and I know it's a sentiment shared with a lot of the fandom. So many people are like, why won't the princesses do anything? It's not like they don't want to help. They do. When they are aware that there is a threat, with the exception of the few times when they were testing the main characters, they do try to actively do something to help the situation. It just usually doesn't work out for them. But even with that being the case, the line feeds into the idea that the princesses are useless when they 100% are not. Celestia and Luna raise the sun and moon, both of which are needed for the world to function and life to flourish. They are the only ones who can move these celestial bodies without losing their magic. These feats already make them not useless. They also keep society running. Luna helps ponies to sleep peacefully and helps keep their psyches intact by helping them deal with subconscious issues in their dreams. Celestia handles a lot of the admin work by keeping the country running and taking care of the boring stuff that is needed for society to function. Even in businesses, admin work is integral to making sure things run smoothly. Without Celestia and Luna, everything falls apart. And Cadence? Well, she oversees the Crystal Empire and keeps it safe. Plus, her presence boosts the morale of the citizens, and her powers over love and something Crystal Heart helps maintain the light and love of the Empire, which is needed to benefit all of Equestria, and ensures that the Crystal Empire isn't lost to the everlasting winter next to its borders. All in all, the princesses aren't useless. They just aren't the kinds of warriors that can take down villains. They are still integral to the world, and I wish the writing of the show did a better job handling them and explaining things better. But as it seems, once again, there were too many writers and not enough collaboration when it came to certain aspects of this show. I still love My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, but it can be quite frustrating. Oh well, Celestia's still best princess. But what do you guys think? Do you think the princesses are useless? How do you think the show handled them? Who is your favorite princess? Comment below with your thoughts and the crown emoji, and let's get this conversation started. And don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. But as for now, that's all there is. There isn't any more.